Hi, I'm Dr. James Vegher, here today to help you eliminate your wrist pain with 2 easy stretches. As is often the case, I had a client come into my office with wrist pain thinking that was just a part of getting older. It took me 1 session to convince her that life can actually be pain-free. Your wrist pain is not some condition that you just have to accept and deal with day to day. Whether you're feeling a dull pain, tingling, or those pins and needles that poke at your wrist, I've got 2 stretchers that are going to help fix your pain. But I'm not going to stop there. Stick around to the end of this video so I can give you a free gift. You see, I've created a healthy wrist and hand guide that I want to give you. It's a free PDF guide that you can use daily to relieve your pain even further. But first, you need to know that this exercise is intended for a broad audience and you may require more specific attention. Please listen to your body and know your limits. There should be no pain when performing these movements. If you are experiencing severe pain in your wrist, you should seek reliable professional help immediately, since these movements are not intended to take the place of your personal healthcare provider. This is not your typical exercise. With this exercise, you are allowing your brain to reorganize your body. Using excessive force with this exercise is going to be counterproductive and actually limit the results you could experience. Stay relaxed and use minimal movements and force when performing this movement. You can't expect to retrain your body if you use all the same muscles that brought you to the state you're in right now. So the first thing to understand is that your wrist is actually a very complex set of joints. It's not just one joint. There's multiple bones, multiple joints in your wrist. So there's a lot happening, a lot of muscles that are involved and a lot of control. As we go and perform our work life, daily habits, gripping, pulling, lifting, our muscles begin to get stronger when we use them the most. So what we're trying to do is reset the movement of your wrist to be more ideal and more how the body was designed to work. So the movement that I want you to do is going to be very gentle, very slow, and should never reproduce your symptoms and should never make your pain worse. The other great thing about this exercise, these 2 exercises, is that you can do them anywhere. You don't need any special equipment. You don't need any special setup, just where you are and your body. So the first one, you're gonna watch to make sure that your wrist is in neutral, holding it like this, and you're gonna make a gentle, non-forceful O with your fingers and your thumb, just like this. From this position, you're gonna move your wrist backward, which is called extension. And the trick here, when we engage our mind in this activity, is we wanna make sure that we feel like the movement is happening here and that we're pulling the wrist back right from just below the wrist line. So we don't want to think about the knuckles moving up. We want to think about the wrist line moving up. So right here, as we pull back, we imagine that the pull is happening right at this point. And again, we want no pain. We want no stretch. The fingers are loose and not grippy. Hold it back for a second or 2. And then you return to normal. Don't drop into flexion, keep it sort of neutral, and then back. Gentle, holding for a few seconds, and then coming back. What I would expect you to feel is a little bit of muscle work and possibly a little stretch, but you don't have to feel the stretch. You just need to make sure that you're only pulling as far as you can go, just feeling a little bit of that tension and moving from the right place. This isn't about going back as far as you can go. Remember, take it gentle. The second move is really about creating proper control in the wrist. Typically, when there's a dysfunction in the wrist, certain muscles take over that shouldn't be controlling the wrist movement. So, for example, sometimes when people extend just their fingers, their wrist will drop down into flexion. So instead of keeping the wrist in neutral alignment and extending the fingers, as the fingers extend, the wrist drops down into flexion. And of course, this is excessive movement of the wrist, and it's not necessary and can cause tissue strain. So this exercise is about holding the wrist in neutral. So the part of your palm and your forearm will stay in one line, and then extend the fingers without letting the wrist drop down this way or the palm drop down this way. So here, extending the fingers, you can see it's very gentle. It's not aggressive. I'm only moving the fingers. I'm making the wrist stay in place. And this will slowly retrain the brain to leave the wrist alone and not produce excess stress. You can do these exercises anywhere. If they give you immediate relief, great. Do them as much as you need to take pain away when you experience it. Plan on doing it at least twice a day to make sure you're exposing your brain to the new movements and the new way of moving in your wrist. That's it. Just repeat those movements daily and you will be leaps ahead of most people suffering from wrist pain. Be sure you listen to your body and stop immediately if you experience pain. Pain is your body's way of telling you something is wrong. As promised, I had that special gift for you. All you have to do is click the link below in the description and it's going to take you to a page where you fill out your email so I know where to send you your free PDF, Healthy Wrists and Hand Guide. Let me know how this video helped you. Leave any feedback down below in the comments. Be sure to click the subscribe button so you can get even more pain relief and corrective exercises and tips. And remember to give this video a thumbs up and share it with a friend or family member who could use help with relieving their wrist pain too. Until next time, take care of yourself.